quiet.
Welcome to the Powertrip podcast live. You're now tuned into our Thursday evening chat with your hosts,
Charmaine
and Saquon.
Welcome.
What's up, people?
For all of you guys who have been rocking with us, welcome back. And for all of you who are new, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
So every Thursday evening, we get together to discuss controversial topics surrounding family, relationships, and community. And we have three main goals. Our first goal is to strengthen communication within our communities. Our second goal is that we want to gain a greater perspective. We want to expand our We want to expand our perspective so that we can gain a greater understanding. And then third, and probably most importantly, we want to help build exceptional families that will continue to uplift the world around us.
Right. So we hope if you're new that you'll be joining in on a conversation with us. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you haven't, and like this video, like our Facebook page if you're watching for Facebook. Show us some love.
Yes. Hey, Papa J.
What's up, Irvin?
All right. How's everyone's evening going? We're just sharing really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've had a pretty impactful week. A lot going on. A lot of positive things. Right? Well, something positive.
Yes, it's a lot that has been going on. So we hope you guys are all just taking care of your mental health and enjoying the wins and not focusing too much on the negatives.
Right. As people coming in though, we got some good topics for tonight. We have head of the household. We're going to talk about the head of the household. We're also going to discuss parenting double standards. And then we have a power trip of the week for you guys. We're going to basically read through the scenario someone wrote, and we're going to give our opinions on it and see how maybe we think it should be handled.
Yes. So as people start trickling in, we can just jump on into our first topic.
Which is?
So I guess we can start off with the head of the household. Or which one did you want to start with?
Yeah, let's start it off with head of the household. So, head of the household, who wears the pants in a relationship and in the house and in the family? Since it's early, disclaimer, it is some
foul
language being used, but we're going to play a clip real quick. Just a little funny clip to just, show about wearing the pants and, things like that. 1 second.
So yeah, we're gonna be there. Hey, no, we still going to the fight, right?
Hell yeah.
All right, we gotta go to Will Call early to get our tickets, all right?
I bet.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be there, man, for sure.
Ooh, hold on. Let me call my girl real quick and ask if I could go.
You gotta do what?
I'm gonna call my girl, ask if I could go.
Ask her to go to what, bruh?
To the fight.
Where'd you get this nigga from, man?
Nigga, I found him with you. That's your cousin. What's wrong with that?
I'm trying to figure out what color.
Color what?
Panties, nigga, that you got on. You sound like a Girl Scout, bruh. Why you asking for permission, bro? You a man. You ain't gotta ask for no permission. Now, I understand you got a woman. I know you gotta talk to your lady. But you don't ask her for permission. You run it by her. You let her know what you want to do. Hey, baby, I'm going to the fight with the homies. All right? That's how you do that.
You sounded real delicate, my nigga.
Delicate as hell, man. Pull your skirt down, B. Asking for permission, man. I'll be right back.
Right,
check yourself, nigga.
Y'all tripping.
What's up, baby?
Baby, can you pass me the remote?
What you do? You ate her out and she dipped on you? Damn. Same thing, bro. The remote is right there on the bed with you.
That ain't what I asked you. I asked you if you could pass me the remote.
Meet me. Okay.
Hey, baby. I'm just chilling. Hey, I was wondering if I could go to the fight with DeMero and Jameson.
Thank you, baby. I just wanted to see you.
Oh, she went to lick the spot. Yeah, all right. I got you. I'll text you later. I got you. I'm hitting. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll hit you after. She said I could go. You stupid.
All right, so what's going down tonight? You hit your girl, bro?
Yeah, she said I could go.
She said I can go. This don't even make sense, bro. Man, it's like you wearing the Fashion Nova leggings in the relationship and she wearing the Dickies, homie. You gonna have to man up, bro. It don't make no sense, man. Baby, what you doing out here? I gave you the remote. You're supposed to be in there watching TV.
I heard you telling Felix that he don't need to be asking his girl for permission to go to the fight. Good job, nigga.
Thank you.
You asked me to go to the fight last week.
Nah, I ain't really asked. It's more like I let her know. You know what I'm saying? Let her know what I was doing.
No. I didn't feel notified. I was asked. You specifically said, baby, can I go to the fight with Felix and Jameson?
That's not how I sound. I don't talk like that.
The point is, the nigga asked me, right or wrong.
I was giving her the option to know that I was doing what I was doing. And I was kind of sort of, I was telling her what I was.
Oh, you was telling me. No, I'm sure there was a question mark, not a period.
First of all, man. Don't do that, man. Baby. Come on, man.
Nigga, shut up. You lying.
Baby, I'm out here with my niggas. Why you even out here?
Well, I was thirsty. You didn't feel me calling you?
Feel you? I didn't hear you.
No, did you feel me calling you? You supposed to be able to feel when my thirst needs to be quenched.
Baby, just go in the room. I'm going to bring you your juice, all right?
I don't want no juice. I want a cold tiki punch. And you put that motherfucker in the freezer too. And make sure it got a little slush when it come out.
So, what y'all want to
Nah,
fight?
bro. You ain't slick. You asked for permission too.
Man, both of y'all some busters. Both of y'all.
Hey, babe. I'm about to go to the fight with DeMero and Felix. I told you I was going to. Can I go to the fight?
Okay. Sorry for all the language too. It was funny to me though. So what do you think, Buns? Who do you think wears the pants in our relationship?
Well, first, I kind of want to actually start with, like, what does it mean to actually wear the pants in a relationship?
Okay.
What is the definition? Like, what determines who wears the pants in a relationship?
Okay. What determines? So when I think about who wears the pants in a relationship, hey, Aunt Chi. Aunt Chichi. Hello.
Hi, Aunt Chichi. And you guys can answer this too. What determines who's the head of the household or who wears the pants in a relationship?
Yeah. And I think values for the most part when I'm sitting here thinking about it. Like, how is that determined? You get what I'm saying?
Is based off of that person's values?
Yeah, based on like how do you view the hierarchy of a family and things like that.
So you're saying that just someone's values, whether they have a traditional view or a more modern view, determines who wears the pants?
I think that's how it begins.
So, okay. So in a traditional perspective, who wears the pants?
In a traditional perspective, the man would wear the pants.
Why?
Because he will wear the pants because he would wear the pants and be the head of the household because he would be the one to, I guess, support the family, protect the family. If anything came towards anything, he would be the one to take that load, I guess.
And so now in modern times, you don't think a man does the same thing?
What do you mean? Do I think that they do that now?
Yeah, men still protect their family, look out for their family, take the load and stuff.
Oh, some modern families, yeah.
So then, so I guess what I'm trying to ask is like, is it just basically off a traditional value? There's nothing that there's no qualifications for who wears the pants or who's the head of the household?
That he had to. Are you saying like, okay, so we're both in the house, right? And we have a rubric. If you meet all of these requirements on a rubric, then you're that. That's what he is.
I mean, yeah, kind of. It's like, so you can be, let's say, okay, because you're saying in traditional sense, the man wears the pants, right? So let's say you have a man who doesn't want to work, doesn't want to help with the children, is rude and nasty. Like he's still considered the head of the household? Or does he have to have qualities that give him that role?
I think him being the head of the household would be determined based on what that couple thinks, because there could be a situation where a man is like that and she may still view him as the head of the household. He still is the head of the household. He still is the higher authority in that house. But she and the kids may do what they want to do anyway. But that leads to all of it sound like chaos to me. Okay.
Hey, Poppy.
Hey, what's up, Poppy?
Poppy says, I believe the men and women should rule together. So then so if you think that, like, if you're saying that where a woman can still view a man who's not like holding up his end as the authority or like the head of the household, what are the duties of the person who's the head of the household? Because I would think one of the duties would be to be a leader. And if you're not upholding these qualities and these actions, you're not leading.
I mean, you could say that they're not leading, but people that grow up in toxic families, they carry those traits on, so they follow somebody. You understand what I'm saying? He's just not a good leader.
Interesting.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess you're not really understanding what I'm saying, though. But I mean, or I guess you're just saying just because traditionally a man's a man that he would have that title, no matter what type of man he is, he would just have that title.
Yeah, if the couple sees him as the head of the household, it don't matter what traits he has. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's families where the situation is not the best. You get what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things going on. There's no order in the home, right? But the woman still puts him first. She'll still feed him first. You get what I'm saying? She'll still put him before the kids. You understand what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I'm gonna have you answer the question on who's the head of the household for us first.
For us? Right now, I'd say I don't know. Right now, I'd say it's like 60-40. 60-40 me. But yeah, I'd say it's 60-40 me based on like just decisions and stuff like that. But that's it.
Yeah. I think that for me, I feel like it's like a give and take thing. Like I feel like, yeah, you may be the head of the household, like I may serve you first and things of that nature. But I feel like as far as when it comes to decision making and certain things, it's not that you always make the decision or it's always just, your decision. I feel like most of the time we have a conversation about something, and certain things I feel like you either say, okay, and, go with what I want, or I'll say, okay, and just go with what you want. So I feel like it's kind of give and take. So that's why I'm like, I kind of understand the concept of like head of the household, authority, final decision. But that's why I was asking, like, what qualities does this person need to have, or what really determines like who has this role, and what does it actually mean to be the head of a household?
I mean, what it means to be the head of the household, of course, is to be the leader, to be the one that's protecting the house and things like that.
So it's just about the house. It's not,
no, it's
or
about
is it
the
your
family.
family?
It's the well, when I say the house, I'm thinking about the family and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he's the one that holds down the family.
And what does that mean?
And leads the family he holds the family down, he protects the family, he provides for the family, and he leads the family in a good direction. And based on insight, his advice, his experience, his wisdom, and things like that, and the things that the universe or God gives to him, right? That's what he's given to his family. With it, through his heart, that's what he gives to his family to lead them in the right direction.
So can you be specific when you say he holds them down and provides? Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm not understanding.
What do you mean hold them down? What does that mean? Like, how does he hold them down?
That's the first thing I said, and then you said whatever, but then I was like, he protects them, he provides.
So that is holding them down. Yeah. All those examples. Okay, gotcha.
He set. I believe he sets a foundation and sets order within the home and things like that. Like that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I guess hold them down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can see it. I can understand it. As far as, so then what if the woman is the one who's like, what if she, like, okay, so you said that whatever insights and stuff that he gets from God and, his wisdom and stuff. So because as, his spouse and someone that he would choose, I'm sure, a man would choose a woman with great qualities as well.
Correct.
So what about what she's bringing then?
It's valuable. He listens to it and he takes heed to the thing that she may bring to him. And I believe it's like a combination. It's not to say that that you don't make decisions for yourself at all, because it's, how do I put this? When you have a rubric or if you have an outline, right? Mm-hmm. All the branches is freestyle. You just have this piece, this framework, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I believe that he's kind of given, just like that's like that framework of things. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm not answering your question.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't want to mess up. Hello, Miss Mystic. Hey. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about head of the household. And we were just discussing pretty much like what qualifies someone to be the head of the household, and what qualities, if any, does that person need to have? Mm-hmm. And so we're talking about like traditionally, men were the head of the household. And I think that initially started because women typically didn't work. So men did provide financially. And then also, men are physically built with more, muscular mass than women and things like that. So protection wise, it also would make sense, as a protector and leader. And then we're talking about like now in modern times, women are out there working as well, mm-hmm. and providing for the household also. So that's why I'm asking, like, what really defines the head of the household? And is it, what defines that hierarchy? And is it just because you're a man that you get that role? Or do you have to display some certain qualities in order to be the head of the household? So then for you, because, we were just talking, but like, do you think a woman can be the head of the household then?
I think the woman can be the head of the household when a man is not there.
So in all relationships across the land, you think there's not one woman who's the head of her household?
No, there's some, but the man not, I mean, it's like I said, it's if from the outside looking in, right? We could say that he not the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We could say, oh, we could see that the kids don't listen to him. He ain't doing nothing. You get what I'm saying? So we could say, all right, well, he's not the head of the household. But within their relationship, I can't say that he's not, because she still may give him everything.
So basically you're saying that you are an authority or head of household because a woman gives you everything?
No, you the head of the household because that's your role as a man. Automatically, that's just what you're supposed to be. That's the role. That's the like, how can I put it? You know how like for a man, it's like not one size fit all, but yeah, it's like one size fit all. You were put here with the capabilities to fulfill this role.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's it.
Okay. All right. So how do you?
I want to say Isaiah.
No.
Isaiah.
We're going.
Isaiah Mystic.
Yes. Isaiah Mystic says, if I'm the head with a man present in my life, I naturally won't see him as a man. Okay. So I guess it kind of goes back to like gender roles as well. And it's like everyone has a role to play. And I think when some people hear head of the household, they think automatically that it's like the man just runs everything, doesn't take what you have to say into consideration, and they think it's like a old-fashioned type mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in a healthy situation with that hierarchy of, the man being the head of the household or wearing the pants, like a true leader, I feel like listens and knows how to take into consideration the whole and not just, selfishly makes their own choices based off of their own, selfish wants or needs. So I think it could be, like you said, kind of as a man, I do think like part of your purpose is to make sure you're leading your family, protecting your family, providing for your family. And so then if those those are qualities that's what I was trying to get at. So like those are qualities that you should have in order to be the head of the household and to lead. Because I feel like, yeah, you're right. There can be men who, women still really like submit to.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not healthy, is that really beneficial for your family?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's beneficial for the family, but unfortunately, a title does not always come with benefits. You get what I'm saying?
No.
We can have a president that nobody likes, and they feel like it's just destroying the country. He got the title as the president, but it's not beneficial.
But it's beneficial for somebody.
Well, it could be the same way. Just
like in that situation with not a good man, it's still beneficial for him because he's getting the perks of that.
Well, then that would be the case. Then it's beneficial for somebody. But,
that's what I'm saying.
But he's still the head. He got the title still. You get what
does that mean? So it's like, okay, you have a title. But if you're not doing your job, does your title really mean anything?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's why I put it in the sense of the president like thing.
Yeah, does your title mean anything either? Because of a president, if you're disliked and you go down in history as not doing anything, that's your legacy that you're leaving behind. It's not the best.
But you can't strip the title. That's
But what's so great about the title if you're not living up to the job?
I'm just saying, why would they, you could call them this or call them that, but you're gonna still call them, even though, you know what I'm saying, even though it's not beneficial and he may be the only person benefiting from it, he still has the title. Like,
I'm just saying, what's the significance of that?
I guess, I don't know if it's necessarily a significance of the title. It's the significance of how people treat you. You get what I'm saying? Like that come with the title. Like it's things that come along with the title. There's benefits for that person that may come along with the title. Like I'm saying, he could be full on that head of that man that we talking about that don't possess certain qualities, right? Can really be the most toxic thing in the house, but you know, the woman still giving him, you know, treating him as the head of the household. That's benefits that he's still reaping.
I mean, yeah, for him, but I think that's a selfish like mentality versus like if you're going to take that role, because it's like you said with the example of the president, if you're going to take that role, that comes with a lot of responsibility. So if you choose to do that and be the head of the household, you need to honor that role. Just like as a parent, you need to honor that role. Like anyone can, well, most people can have children, but that doesn't make them a good parent. So it's like you don't just have children to say, oh, I'm a parent, I'm a mom. You want to make sure you take responsibility for the choice that you made.
And you're fully correct. But at that point, right, you could take the child away and everything. But can the person tell you that I'm not a parent?
But that's what I'm saying. There's no significance.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what you saying. There's no significance, but you can't take that away from them.
I mean, if that's what people want to live on, I think
what
value
you mean if that's what
your role, not
it's not
title.
What people want to live on. I mean, I guess if it's a whole society is based like that. Someone has a child, right? Their child can be taken from them right there in the hospital, but they still birth a child. You can't take that experience away from them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't understand the importance of it. Hey, Sylvester.
Hey, what's up, Sylvester?
All right. Aunt Chi-Chi says, I am fine with whatever structure a couple agrees upon, so as long as each person is truly at liberty to articulate their role. Okay. That's important. I think that's really important. So do you guys feel, because, okay, Poppy said that he believes the man and women should rule together. Do you guys feel that when it comes to leading a family or a household that you truly could have equal roles? Or do you feel like it's like the saying, too many hands in the pot? Like, do you feel like everyone needs a certain role, or do you feel like you all can have the same role as far as leading your family? Investors, oh, sorry, one second.
No, you're good. Sylvester said, I believe the head of the household is the person who takes responsibility for the decisions that are made.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had said earlier. And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, because you were going to say something earlier.
Oh, but I believe that. And I believe it's like an equation, right? A man has his opinion, and he has the woman's opinion. He has the family, let's say just the health. I don't know what another word would be, but the overall condition of the family and their status. He has that. He has also the woman's decisions as well, right? And her opinion. And then he has all of that. And if they have kids and things like that as well, he has all of that, and he has to mush it up and make the best decision. Like he has to come up with the right decision to say, I think this will put us in the right direction. You know, and I think that's how that all kind of comes together.
Okay. All righty. So okay. So you're saying he's taken all of that knowledge to make the best decision for the family. And so that's the responsibility for decision making.
Yeah, I think that's how decision making, you know, is handled as far as being the head of the household and things like that.
Yeah. All right. You want to read?
She's Isaiah, that's what I said. Isaiah Mystic. She says, I think the man is the head, the woman is the neck. I think a lot of people should respect the balance to be had in the biology of a relationship. She also says, a lot of women feel like they're losing power by a man being the head, but you gain power that way. And that's true. I mean, what is the head without the neck? I heard in a video, right, that I was listening to earlier, he said, you know, everybody wants to be equal, right? He says, but what's a head without a body, and what's a body without a head? Everybody, it's not, you don't have the same roles, but you're equal, because nobody, you know, without one, and without the other,
It
it's
won't
nothing.
function.
Yeah, it doesn't function at all.
Yeah, I think it's you're equal but different.
Right.
And that's okay. And I think, well, that's why I asked the question, like, do you think that people, like two people in the same role could run the family or take care of the responsibility,
No.
or do you have to have different ones? Well,
No.
I posted to them.
Oh
but
yeah, you did post
You
it
can
to them.
answer it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what I was going to say, like
Mhm.
too many hands in the pot. So I do think it is important to know what role you play. Like
Right.
Chichi said, like as everyone is at liberty to articulate their role.
Right.
So like knowing which role you play and then doing that, so you're not stepping on each other's toes and there's no animosity or resentment or issues. Okay. Perfect.
Yes. Asaya also says that Black women are praised for being on the front line in a position that our men are supposed to be taking, and as a result, we lose understanding of power of femininity.
Yes. I think that's true. I do feel like as women, just within our society and with the radical part of the feminist movement, I do think that we are losing part of like who we naturally are and who, we were created to be. So I can agree with that. And I do think we're being put into positions that we shouldn't have to be on the front line fighting.
Right.
And
then I believe it's tough because, when you get so far here, because this way has been pushed, trying to get back, it's more, you going upstream now. You get what I'm saying? That's more uncomfortable than staying on this side of things.
Yeah. I think it's important to just work together. I think, unity needs to happen again, and not looking at each other as the enemy or as like a competition, and just focusing on, okay, this is a unit. Like we're all a part of this circle, and we just each have our different roles that we play.
Yeah, we all on the same, like, especially in one family, right? We all on the same mission. You get what I'm saying? That's it. We all on the same mission. I think sometimes when it comes down to decisions, right? And I like, even when, let's say, in a role of a parents and a child and stuff like that, sometimes parents really don't care what the child think anyway. But in certain cases, right, people can't view their the piece that they gave. They can't understand how it fit in the puzzle.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think that's probably where communication comes. And that's why I do feel like, it's important to make sure whoever you're going to be with has the qualities and who will honor their responsibility as that lead or as that head, or same for a man, like whatever woman you choose, you want to make sure she has the qualities for her role.
Right.
So I think that would solve a lot of issues.
Yeah.
All right. And then Asaya says,
at the same time, there are men, and patriarchy has abused the role of a leader by leading with his ego instead of his heart. So y'all make up for that.
Y'all gotta make up for that.
Right.
And that's what I was saying. It's about like how you handle this role, because you can't just abuse your role and then just think that they should, you should still be respected and treated the same way. Now you may still be respected and treated the same way, but it's like you're not even honoring your position.
That's true. And I think the ego thing is it's teetering, because when a man's ego is who he is outside, I think. You get what I'm saying? And that's kind of what he uses to do whatever he do, or how he uses to push forward.
The outside, but it shouldn't be in his family.
No, not in his family, but those decisions that he make, you get what I'm saying, are based on what he's about to go and comfortably do for himself out there to provide or do what he has to do for the family. Yeah,
but I think there's men who overdo it.
No, I'm not saying that there are men that don't overdo it, because there definitely are. But I do believe that sometimes that ego piece, right? Put it like this, in both sides of the relationship, right? you know how somebody act outside versus in a relationship, right? So, or just inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you wouldn't expect for the decisions that they make to be like who they are outside. You get what I'm saying? That's the ego. That's that ego piece.
Partially because partially because I don't like when people switch up. So like if you're staying true to like your morals and values on the outside, but maybe you be a little bit more aggressive, or just a little like handle a tight like a little bit different than you would with your family, I can understand that. But if you go out there acting like a whole different person,
I'm not talking about your ego is a whole 180,
like an alter ego.
Nah, it shouldn't be a complete alter ego. No.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm saying, the thing about it is a lot of people are particular, right? So let's say like with the AC, right? Some people like you move that thing 2 degrees, they know, and it bothers them. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like it don't gotta be a complete 180 for them to feel a type of way that little outside energy is entering, if that makes sense.
No, you lost me.
Not outside energy, but his ego being, let's say if you like it at 80, right? And he's 80 in the house. But outside he 82, and you feel that little 2 degrees. You get what I'm saying? And that just bothers you. You don't want none of that in there. So she'll be dissatisfied. She's that particular.
You confused me. Who is she? The wife?
The wife, yeah.
Would not be happy with how he's acting outside because it could
bother her. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't like, certain things people do in public. They don't like their behavior. They don't like their demeanor. But sometimes they could be the same person in the house, but they turn it up a little bit more when they go out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's doing a bit much.
I mean, it's like somebody being funny. Like somebody may be funny, tell jokes in the house, but then when they go, we actually heard it. But then you get around some people, right? And you just can't stop the jokes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then that's when you get like, that's when people be looking at you who know you like, you're doing a little extra. Like, are you trying to impress somebody?
No,
I guess that's your ego trying to.
Where we heard it from though, in the podcast, right? She's the only one. Why everybody's laughing? She's the only one that is feeling upset now.
Because she's the butt of the joke. It's not just.
But she's the butt of the joke in the house. She could be the butt of the joke in the house,
but
too.
She's not always, and it's not them going on and on and on and on joking on.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not a 180.
Yeah, I guess. All right. So that was head of the household. Let's go on to our second topic.
Okay.
And let's talk about double standards in parenting. And so the conversation with double standards in parenting that we want to kind of go over is when parents tell a child to do something that themselves aren't doing.
Right.
So the saying, do as I say, not as I do. So we want to talk about that. Do you guys think it is okay as parents to instruct your child to do something that you yourself don't even do? Whether it's, okay, well, you need to eat your vegetables, no dessert, for breakfast, things of that nature. Or, no, I don't want you, even smoking or drinking. Do you think it's okay as a parent to say, no, you shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it? What do you think, hon?
I don't think that's a good thing to do. I could understand certain things where it may happen, like let's say drinking, for instance. I might drink something. I might have a drink, but my child's not allowed to do that, and because you could do what you want to do once you hit the age limit.
Why? So, okay, why isn't your child allowed to have a drink?
Because my child's not allowed to have a drink because at the age that he or she would be, let's say at a young age, I don't think that their body's developed for that.
Is your body developed for alcohol?
It's more developed than they are.
Is your body developed for alcohol is my question. Not is it more developed? Alcohol beneficial for your body?
My body was not created for alcohol, and hard liquor isn't beneficial for the body. Red
So
wine,
some alcohol is good for their body?
like red wines and stuff.
Cardiovascular health? Oh, goodness.
But nah, even like red, I probably shouldn't talk. Would you let the kid drink wine? At a certain age, I'm not even gonna lie. Right off the top of my head, thinking about red wine and the taste of red wine, maybe 15. 15. You can take a sip of wine.
So alcohol was created for his body. I don't think it was. But so my thing is, I feel like as parents, you should lead by example. And I get how in society we have it to where there's an age limit for certain things.
Right.
So you could say, because you could even bring it down simple as driving a car.
Yeah.
Would you let a child?
No, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It's an age. It's just an age thing.
However, I remember watching this video in China, and this 2-year-old was operating a heavy machinery. So it's possible that they can. Now, yes, you may not want them on the streets.
Right.
Because
no,
you really like
no, because I was about to say, like, even with the driving thing, right? It's just like how I just said with wine. Like, my child might not have their license, but my child might know how to drive before that.
Right. So I do think there are stipulations, but I feel like as a parent, you should lead by example, and you shouldn't tell your child they can't do a whole bunch of things that they see you do frequently.
Right.
Especially.
Right. She said alcohol was created for the body. My dad encouraged me to drink. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, was it hard liquor or just like wine and things like that? Isaiah also says, we should be leading by example, because if we don't, our children will be following liars and politicians. And okay, so that's true. That's the other side of it. That is true. But you also got to explain to them. I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm going to explain to them why I feel like they can't do it. Like, if you see, like, what? Like, if my child see me smoking, right? And I had to tell them that no, if I had to tell them no, I don't think that's what I want you to do. I'm gonna explain to them, like, about brain development, things like that. You get what I'm saying? Should anybody be doing it? Maybe not smoking, but you get what I'm saying? Maybe not smoking to medicate. No,
I think medicating is fine. I think recreational is where it's an issue, because there are children who take cannabis for seizures and for epilepsy seizures, but for different health conditions, and it's actually beneficial. And there are things where you can juice the marijuana leaves, and there's no psychoactive effect to it. Thank you. So I don't think that cannabis by itself would be bad. But for one, I don't know why your child would see you smoking. And two, go ahead.
Sometimes, let's say if we was outside, I'm outside with the guys or something like that, and they wasn't supposed to be out there, and they just come busting out or anything. It's just like certain family members probably, when they was just doing their thing in the room, just the adults, and then the kids come busting up in there. You get what I'm saying?
But
just
my thing is, you shouldn't really be doing things unless, like, it's intimate between, like, your wife, your husband. You really shouldn't be doing too many things that your child shouldn't see if you're leading by example.
You shouldn't be doing things that your child shouldn't see?
Yeah. Like, what would you be doing that you would have a problem with your child seeing you doing?
The most natural thing, sex.
I said, unless it's between your husband and wife.
I mean, unless it's between that. I mean, I don't have to hide it, but I could still say, don't do it. But I mean,
does it make you a hypocrite?
No, it doesn't make me a hypocrite, because I said that you could do it for me, I might be a little bit lucky. I mean,
what?
No, but I look at it like this. If I'm telling you that you can't do something because of your body development and things like that,
Mhm.
that I don't think that you should be doing at this age, and at whatever age you hit, you could do it at that point, then cool. I think that's where it stops. That's what I did.
So it's not that you're saying they can never do it. You're just going to tell them whatever you're doing. That it's not that you don't ever want them to do it. It's just not at this age. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I can't tell them. And that's what we're here talking about. I necessarily can't sit here and tell them to not do what I'm doing. But right now, at the age that you are, no, you can't do this.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Chichi says, it comes down to maturity. Anything I do as an adult that I don't permit my children to do is because they're not mature enough. Okay. And then
she said, Messiah said everything. He encouraged it because he didn't want me to be tempted outside of the house to get drunk or intoxicated. Okay. That's like a safety precaution, more so.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset parents have too, that they rather you do it in front of them and you get introduced to it by them so that no one else can, lure you in an uneducated way to doing something.
True.
And then Chichi says they can't be fully responsible for the consequences of their action. That's true, because their judgment and reasoning isn't all the way fully developed. And then Asaya says, how we naturally want to do what we're told not to do. And that's very true too. So you tell a child not to do something, you tell anybody, like if I say, don't think about purple elephants, a lot of us are going to think about purple elephants.
Right.
So it's the same messaging we're sending to our children when we tell them don't do something that they see you doing, versus if you live the lifestyle that you feel is important for you, you want to model for your child, because you want, out of anybody, we would want our children to follow us versus, the media or, people out on, out about in society. So I think it is very important to be who you want your, be the example of who you want your children to follow, and not send messages that are double standards of you saying that, oh, don't do this, but they see you do it all the time. Or I do like how you said that you would explain to them, I'm not saying that you can never do this, but right now with the development of your brain, this could affect it in X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And actually educating them so that they have an understanding on why this is not okay to do right now.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So like things like, and then I don't know, you can't dig too deep into it with too many kids though, because if they like me, you're going to dig too far and then you'll find the benefit for yourself.
But that's part of the process, because at the end of the day, if your child's inquisitive and they like to ask questions, you have to go down that rabbit hole with them, because if they don't leave with the full understanding, or even if they did find a benefit, you still discuss with them. I'm making this choice and saying, I don't want you to do this. With my wisdom and knowledge, I don't think the benefit outweighs the risk. So even if there is a benefit, okay, but there's also risk to it. It's just like some people won't go skydiving because they feel like the risk outweighs the benefit.
Right.
Other people will. And so it's like about knowing your children, but also not being afraid to have that conversation.
That's true.
All right. Saya says, oops, I read that one. Yes. So it's better to teach through actions. I 100% agree. And I do agree that certain things come down to like maturity and age. So something that you're doing, like you said, you wouldn't mind your child doing in the future, but you just know like for their liver is not capable of, detoxing alcohol the same way that your liver is.
Right.
Now, is it good for either person? No, it's a toxin.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're going to make that choice, I want you to do it later in life.
Yeah. And then I believe, for me with smoking, I might smoke recreationally, but a lot of other things that I might have just tried when I was 18, I just stopped. My mind was still smart enough to realize that this wasn't healthy for me. I think you still had the urge to do certain things just because you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like smoking too. I think, let's say like smoking, for instance, you know what? I've never seen none of my family visually like smoke right in front of me. ever before I did it.
Mhm.
I did it myself before I seen
But
it.
that yours was because of outside influence. You were
Right,
still influenced.
right. It was still outside influence, but I still waited to a specific point. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of had a safe haven a little bit.
Yeah, and maybe because you didn't see your parents doing that, you didn't have this like urge or curiosity too much.
Right.
But like even though you knew people who were doing it before the age of 18, you probably maybe that affected you in a way where you didn't. Because I never seen my mom and them do it either.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because if it wasn't in the house and they found it, it's mine.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can't be like, oh, I dropped that.
Yeah,
no,
where this came from.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest person in the house. I'm gonna blame it on
you get
what I'm saying? There's nobody really blame it on. So
yeah. Yep. Okay. So it
was another side of that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That we wanted to talk about. It's not as far as do as I say, not as I do, but it's about double standards in parenting, and it is raising your son and your daughter different.
Yes, double standards in raising boys and girls.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Talk to us. What do you think? Do you guys, because a lot of you have children, and I know Aunt Chichi has boys and a girl. So do you think there are things that you allow your boys to do that you wouldn't allow Zipporah to do? Or, do you feel like it's just a set rule for all the children? So if there's a time that you're supposed to come in the house, that's it. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl. Let us know what you guys think. What do you think? Real quick. I remember it was like early within our relationship, maybe year 3 or 4, and we got in such a big argument about double standards.
We did?
Raising children. Yes. Because you were for them with raising our son. And it's so funny now looking back at it, because it was like, that was just so dumb to be arguing about when like we're now 5 years after that, and we don't even have children yet. And our mindsets has changed and we've grown. So it was silly that we even argued about that.
Yeah. So I still kind of feel like they'd be raised a little different.
In which ways?
I feel like my son, for instance, I think my son might get introduced to outside at an earlier age than my daughter.
Outside? What do you mean?
Like just being outside alone and with friends and stuff like that.
At an early, like what age?
What age do you think is cool to leave the block? Let's say
we're not. Go ahead.
What?
Leave a block.
Leave the front of the house.
It's not a block. Like go like where you can't be seen. Okay.
And I mean, no, I lived on a block.
You did, but our children won't.
But I'm just saying, like, in the sense of a block. At what point, you know what I mean? Can't see. You get what I'm saying? Can't see them.
Okay.
What age would you say?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. Because in my head, I'm sort of thinking
13.
I see. No.
What were you thinking?
Like 11, 12.
To not be to just be with their friends, playing outside, playing in someone's house. Like, what are we talking? Because I need like
you just be playing outside, right? You don't need to be going anywhere at that age. It just need to be you could just be out of my sight.
But your daughter at 11, 12 can't even be out of your sight, you're saying?
Unless somebody there with her.
I think it goes both ways. This is a crazy world we live in, and I'm gonna be there watching my children.
You know why?
I don't care, boy or girl, because men get snatched up too.
No, I'm not saying that they don't get snatched up at all, but I want to raise my daughter to know that she's supposed to be protected anyway. So you get what I'm saying? Not to say that you can't go out here and do the things that you want to do and be free, but you should move in a way where you are, protected. That's just it. That's,
So you don't teach your son that you're there to protect him?
I am going to teach my son that I'm there to protect him, but I also got to teach him how to be the man. And when he is the one that's going out here and providing, and if he is going to take care of his family and have the role of the head of the household and have his wife not work, he going to go out here by himself and do
at
what
11, 12. Right?
No, that's when I'm going to start raising him to be that, and letting him have more exposure to things to handle outside things. Now, my daughter, you can invite your friends over. At 11, you can invite them over. Y'all could chill, but you don't need to be all over the place yet.
Neither does our son. So, okay, I get giving a freedom and letting them have that experience of being out on your own. And so, being out on his own, playing with his friends, what do you think that instills in him? What? Because you said you think it helps him become a provider and
that starting there, I think being outside and being out with your friends and doing certain things, you start being a little bit more adventurous and doing certain things, but you also run into certain issues that you have to learn how to how can I say this?
Are you thinking about your childhood, or are you
no, I think this really happens to every boy.
That playing with their friends. What kind of issues are you talking?
Just any little life issues, or other kids having fights, little arguments, seeing people you don't like, knowing how to go around situations.
That happened in school. So
it's not the same. It's not the same. That's a control environment.
So you're saying that you would want your son to be in an uncontrolled environment so that he can learn, or so he can have the experience of dealing with a situation like that.
Have the possibility, because it might never happen, but as far as my environment, he needs to start understanding this environment. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And not to say that she'll never understand the environment, but that's my daughter. I'm still protecting her anyway. I'm not saying I'm not protecting my son, but mm-hmm. what you need to be doing too, you don't need to really be doing too much. You get what I'm saying? And not to say not doing too much. You can still be learning, doing certain things. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like at 11, I just don't see why my daughter needs to be running all over the place.
But you see why your son does.
I could see my son doing it. Maybe I am thinking about myself, and maybe I'm just thinking about myself, my experiences, the thing that I've seen. But I mean, the girls that's running all over the place was never really into too much good, if you ask me. I mean,
I don't think that. So I think values should be instilled in, both boys and girls. And I don't think it should be encouraged. And I know you're not saying for him to go all around messing with these girls who are, fast and stuff like that. But I just think that, we should instill values for our daughter to uphold herself in a respectable way, an honorable way. And I think same for our son, though. So I don't think he should be out there just all willy-nilly, no guidance or direction, free for all.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not like there's no guidance, no direction. From before he's 11, he's with you. He's with me. He sees how I handle myself out in other places and things like that. I start to instill certain things in him, but then I have to open up some type of door to let him practice.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I understand it. I think it's not really age thing. I do think, kind of like what Aunt Chichi was saying earlier, that it's based off of maturity. Yeah, you can have an immature 11-year-old who's not ready for the responsibility to be out there by himself.
Exactly. So it does go back to maturity too. I do believe that's actually a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Aunt Chichi says no double standards here. I did grow up with lots of double standards, and it was infuriating.
Okay,
that's you.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying because as a woman, as a young girl, we're the ones with the restrictions. So why wouldn't we be upset when you guys as men, you wouldn't be upset if you got to just do whatever you wanted to do. You wouldn't understand it.
It's a flip side to things though, because sometimes we may feel like, yeah, we might have more a longer leash, right? But you closer, you get everything. Y'all taking care of is a little bit different. You get what I'm saying? So it goes back to like the roles thing. It's like, okay, yeah, I have this, but you have this. You get what I'm saying? Isaiah says, I think girls need the freedom to understand her power. The fear around girls' freedom comes from feeling like she's vulnerable. But what if her brother went with her wherever they go? I'm with that. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
No, I'm fine with that too. I do feel like one thing that I would want for both of my children are for them always to feel protected and know that they have like us,
right,
and people who will go to war for them.
Yeah.
So whether it's my son or daughter, I want them to feel that. I don't know about like sleepovers and all this other stuff at other people's house. Like I would rather our house be the house where children come and have a good time and things of that nature.
And I'd be like, I have to tell my nah, that's a tough one. I can't do that.
What?
I was about to be like, maybe I would have to either tell my daughter, well, you know, if y'all doing something and y'all gonna be here, then put this camera in so that they parents could be able to see them or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's too much. But
yeah,
we'll have cameras in the house, so if anything ever transpired, we could always play back the cameras for the sanity of their parents and, you know, whatever, if anything were to occur.
Yeah.
With the children.
And I'm not talking about no camera that stay in the room like that. I'm just, you having a sleepover today? Let these parents be able to see their kids. But I would it would probably it would push things.
It would push things because I would feel weird with like,
other parents being able to.
Yeah. Right. Isaiah also says, or what if she's taught about the law of attraction and energy work?
You could do that right in front of the house. You could do that in front of the house. Because I believe that there's girls that have a lot of attraction and things like that. And they understand their power and energy. And they got a whole lot of people coming right to their house. Isaiah also says women should feel protected. What? I'm for real. Why a guy coming and knock on the door?
The law of attraction is not just about a man attracting a man, hun. The law of attraction is about attracting the things that you want in life.
Yeah, but not just about a man. She could practice right here in front of this house. You don't need to be going out here right now. Like you would teach her that, and honestly, I would probably teach her some of that too. But your practice it's going to be supervised. It's going to be supervised until a later age. That's it. I mean,
okay.
Isaiah says women should feel protected just being a woman, and the fact that she can't show you the flaws of society rather than trying.
Women should feel protected just being a woman.
Oh, just being a woman.
And the fact that she can't shows you the flaws of society.
Rather than trying to cave her, reform the system, or go to a place where you can create anew.
Oh, wow.
She says, listen, my dad nailed every window shut to try and protect me, but it only just left like he was being a psychopath with trauma. Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
Let their parents...
Papa J, what? Let their parents... Chaos. Papa J, what are you trying to say? Probably autocorrect or something.
Right.
But yeah, I do think there has to be a balance to it. I feel like there's certain parents who just don't want their children exposed to anything, especially their daughters. And then when their daughter actually goes out and becomes exposed to things, she does go buck wild because she never had that experience. She never had the trust and the freedom to go out and make decisions. So I do agree that there's a balance to it. Kind of like, you know, letting your child go to a party. So you remember we were listening to a podcast and they were like, yeah, they let their daughter go to a party.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe 17, 16 was first age, but they stayed outside the house the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like there's certain things. It's like, yeah, I'm going to trust you to go in there. I'm not going to go in and spy on you, but I'm going to be here because God forbid something happen. I'm here. So
the question is, and that was for the girl though. You think they would do that for their son?
Yeah.
Just sit out there the whole maybe the first few, maybe the first. But I think the daughter, they'd do it every time if they could.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I think also the couple we're talking about, they're very, very protective over all their children.
Right.
So they have when they get a new car, even for the son, they got a tracker to see how fast you're driving, where you're driving to,
if you
all
brake
of that.
too hard.
Yeah. So I think in their mindset, it's equal across the board.
They'll do the same for everybody. And
in that respect, I do think they do probably have some double standards.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It starts to push a little bit of the line because now when we go into a party, right? Mm-hmm. Now this is the thing. The party exposes you to different things. Then this is not just walking around the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you have to trust that you gave your child a foundation that they're going to make right decisions, even if you're exposed to something, because you can't protect them from being exposed to certain things.
No, you can't. But that's why they right there. Like, I'm gonna be here. You could go in there and see what this about. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that you might be exposed to other things. That's why I'm right here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Things that may not be I'm not going to say it's not age appropriate, but things that I don't think that you should have to handle by yourself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I think like I said, it's a balance. Like, you shouldn't be in the party.
Right.
But you want to be close. God forbid anything happen. Your child knows. And that's where communication and having a good relationship with your child and letting them feel safe coming to you, even if you're not going to be happy with what they tell you they tried or did, they need to feel comfortable so that you can help them with any situation.
Right. That's true. Irvin says, let their parents know that you are taking responsibility for their child. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to during the sleepover and stuff like that.
Yeah. And one thing I like with any child who would come to our house, too, I would want to go to lunch or dinner with their parents so that we can get to know each other and they can, feel comfortable.
Yeah, I want to know what type of people.
Yeah, because also you got to know what type of child that you're going to have in your house. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not really a fan of double standards. Let's see.
Chichi says, the double standards grow out of the fact that women and girls are more vulnerable in this society. That needs to change, like Isaiah mentioned. I mean, I feel like I honestly look at it like this. It's not going to change until, we could look at the news or the media and they're showing just as many men that all of these things may happen to.
Go ahead.
But like, let's say all of these kidnappings, sexual assault, rape, things like that, that has to be shown that it's actually happening to men like that for people to feel like men are just as vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think the point is that it's not to say we want men to feel vulnerable too. It's to say that we need to get our acts together as people and stop putting stop doing these evil acts.
I mean, but the truth is everyone's equally vulnerable. So that's what you get what I'm saying? That's what y'all saying. Truth. That's what I'm saying. But it's not displayed like that.
Yeah, but that's not the fix, is what I'm saying.
Why isn't the fix is telling the truth? The
root of the issue is that there's pedophiles, there's people who are doing sex trafficking. Like, that's the issue. The issue isn't that as a woman, I may not have as much muscle strength as a man and be vulnerable, or a man is vulnerable to, a man who's stronger, or, if it's multiple people. The issue is actually what is the bad thing that's happening. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but then I just feel like, unfortunately, we have people in the world that,
are going to do bad.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? You have people that are in this world that are going to do bad. You have people that come out deformed, defected, things like that. So you have the wrong things in this world. And I'm not going to say the wrong, because see, and that's what I'm saying. People look at it different, but their mindset and whatever is going on with them is so messed up on let's say a rapist or a pedophile and things like that. They so messed up, right? We don't know what made them like that. They could have been psychologically messed up for a long time. You understand what I'm saying? Possibly born like that. You understand what I'm saying? Something could have, they could, there's kids that are born mentally challenged.
That doesn't make them go out and rape anybody.
I'm not saying that though.
But that does, I don't get what your point is.
You don't think the rapists and all these other people are sick?
I think something traumatic probably happened to them and got them to that point. I don't think that they were necessarily born that way. Now, I guess maybe if you want to, like, maybe there are people who are born, like, you know, sociopaths and things of that nature. Yeah, I guess kind of. But I just feel like they're, I don't know.
Although they are, would the right word be incurring violence, right? And like, although they might be doing violent things or hurting people, you understand what I'm saying? They could still have been born on the other side of things that might not necessarily be correct. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't want to say not correct, but you know, like, let's say someone that's mentally challenged, right? We may have, in our society, we don't look at it as the straight normal way.
I mean, you have to make adaptations to meet somebody where they're at. Okay.
Right. But you get what I'm saying? They just not out here doing nothing violent. They're not hurting nobody.
Okay. So, because I think we're kind of getting off topic. But either way, that person who's doing bad, like you said, can still attack a man or still attack a woman.
Right.
Anchichi said, men are the reason why women are vulnerable. I agree and disagree, because nowadays you have women who will also like trap these young girls into, you know, prostitution and things of that nature.
Think about Gia, how when she was young, that fight that she had.
Oh, when they slashed her
that
face.
Was girls.
Yeah, out of jealousy.
And Gia probably what, 30, 40 maybe?
She's in her 40s now.
Yeah, so it's been happening for a while.
Messiah says, no, I don't agree that everyone is equally vulnerable. I think that people's spirituality is weak. So physical, unwanted things happen more frequently.
The only way to protect yourself from that is through spirituality and learning the laws of the universe, which is based on feminine principles, where the masculine rectifies and protects it. And yes, those people have cut themselves off from their soul, but that can't touch you when your soul is aligned. Archichi says, respectfully, Asaya, I disagree. That line of thinking leads toward victim blaming.
I understand partially what Asaya is saying, though, because I feel like, and it's not to victim blame, but it's kind of like when a woman keeps dating someone who's going to physically abuse her. For some reason, she keeps attracting to this character in a man that, you know, that causes that, you know, that something in him.
Right.
And it's some type of, because like there's a lot of different men out there who abuse women and they don't all just act the same, but there's something in that woman that keeps attracting to that.
That's true.
And so I'm not saying it's her fault I'm not saying his behavior is her fault.
But she's the common denominator.
No, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm just saying that like what he chooses to do hitting her and everything like that is not her fault.
No, but why? But
there's something within her that is attracting to this type of man.
Right. And not saying the common denominator, I guess it's equal on both sides, you know, because these men keep doing this, but you are still this same person. I was listening to a video earlier, and this girl was because about the topic, how to break up, right? This girl was talking about how time after time after time after time, every man she was with was a narcissist. And I'm just, in my head, it's like, it got to be something about you, because you're not viewing them as a narcissist in the beginning. You're not seeing this, and later on, you know, months later, now you see that they're a narcissist. You get what I'm saying? And you trying to break up with them. So it's got to be something with, you know, within you, something that, or maybe they're not narcissistic.
Yeah.
Mustache look weird.
Aunt Gigi says, I agree with being empowered in your thinking. Oh, sorry. Asaya said, it's important to believe in things that empower you. And then Aunt Gigi says, I agree with being empowered in your thinking. And then Asaya said, yes, like attracts like. Now, I will say, like, I don't think someone just walking down the street and being snatched or something like that, or like, especially children, you know, I don't think that it's something like about them. Now, someone can just be watching you for weeks, or, you know, like there's people who prey on innocent people. So I don't think that, you know, like I said, I don't think it's that individual's fault at all for someone else's actions. I never would think that. No. But I also don't think that it's something about someone's, you know, spiritual being or energy, especially as a child, when they get, you know, kidnapped or something like that.
No, it's not. But it could come from your family or anything whatever happened to lead to that energy that led to it could have been something connected to you, unfortunately.
Possibly. Asaya says, I was with a narcissistic individual, but at the time I wasn't aware of low self-worth. I carried it, was very subconscious. Go ahead.
Children take on the energy of their parents through telepathy, so they attract the energy of their family or surroundings. Yeah, I didn't know it like that, but that's what I thought. I figured like it's coming from somebody. You know, to be preyed on, they might prey on they might see your parents before they see you sometimes.
Yeah, but what about, like, okay, let's say a whole group of families, different families don't know each other, go to a park. And you have a pedophile who goes to that park every Saturday. Are you guys saying that the child that they choose is going to be based off of the family's energy because they just seen that child? What if it's the closest child to them? What if this child was just wandering, or the ball rolled over there and they got it and they snatched a child? That's based off of the
way you know how the stars align and the earth going axis, right? The universe kicked that ball into the direction of the kid that needed to be going to the path. Not needed to be, excuse me. Not needed to be, but that chosen person that had that energy will be the one to get put over there. And you might not see this is the thing. It's just like how when you see some of these people get killed, right? When certain people get killed, right? We don't really know what's going on within the family. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't know the dynamics. We don't know what type of energy they put in. The only thing we know is sad.
I mean, and I guess I'm thinking of it from like if it was my child. In my child, I just don't think that would be my thought. Oh, wow. Well, something about my energy was off and they took them.
I mean,
you wouldn't think that. So
I heard this story about this lady, right? That she had a nasty bad attitude and everything like that, right? And she had like 4 or 5 sons, and they was just getting knocked off just for random variety of things.
Killed?
And, yeah. Or knocked off, and not all killed. You get what I'm saying? Some were dying health-wise and everything, but young. And they were saying that people believed that it was because of her. Like, they believed that it was the energy that she was putting out towards things.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like a parent's energy affects their child as well. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know. And so Chichi says, I think about children who've lived through a war or genocide. I just can't get with that line of thinking. Yeah. And I feel like then that's like, I don't know, I guess with the war and thing with what you guys are saying, it would be the energy of the population. But it's like there's good people and bad people. So everybody deserves to go through this just because of the people around them.
I mean, I'm not going to say what they deserve or not. You get what I'm saying? Because that's not for us to determine. Like what's for, you get what I'm saying?
But you're saying it is because of that.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Because you know why? I look at it like, I don't even know. Yeah, hopefully there's no issue, but Jews, for instance, right? What they went through was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Hands down. But ones that made it here gained so much power. And may have had, and you may have some bad people, but you have some good people as well that may be living a pretty good life. You get what I'm saying? Due to the things that, you know, they had to suffer, like they had to endure, like their families had to endure. I
mean, I understand. So what are you saying? I get what you're saying, that, you know, maybe through trial and tribulation, you can come out
what if that top, but what if their energy or the universe set them for that?
So you're basically just coming from the mindset of everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I believe that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand why. Asaya says, people are not just snatching anybody's kids. Certain children are untouchable. It's their natural state to be high vibrating unless traumatized. And then Chichi says, that says it has anything to do with the child's energy. Yeah. So,
Yeah. And you know, I look at it like, I think about myself. You get what I'm saying? I think about myself just living in Brooklyn. A lot of kids didn't, a lot of people didn't, or not even, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of kids like this in Brooklyn and New York, period. It's a lot of kids that get beat up every day, probably. Mm-hmm. But it's people that's just moving through that.
Yeah, but you've had to run a time in your day.
But I made it.
Okay. But they still, okay, just so, and they still, there was something that they still wanted. They wanted a piece of clothing from you.
Yeah, that day maybe my energy was off, maybe something, but hey, God put them, you know, he put my Nikes on and I was out. Like, well, I didn't get touched. And then you got to think about it on top of this. These is people I see every day. So that was it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, let's circle this conversation back to double standards and parenting. So needless to say, though, both boys and girls can be at the hands of kidnapping, violence, right, anything.
Right.
So that's why I'm just not a fan of double standards, because I think at the end of the day, you should be teaching, you know, these similar values to both children. Like my cousin, she was telling me her dad taught her, you know, about getting on the trains, and her brothers. They taught them both, because they're both going to be utilizing, you know, the subway. Mm-hmm. So it's like he taught them what to look out for, what streets not to go on. But it wasn't that I'm going to teach my sons this and not teach her this because she needs to always have a man there to protect her. You still need that knowledge.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, right? Like Jason and Javon probably have done more risky things than Janae. You understand what I'm saying?
But is that based off of them having more? You saying that's based off of them having more freedom, or that's just their choice?
I believe that it's possibly choice, and maybe somewhere freedom, or maybe exposure somewhere.
But that's what we're talking about, parenting and double standards.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it will come from the parent. Maybe maybe like Uncle Mike exposed them to something that they never exposed, that he never chose to expose Janae to.
Booby, if you're on here, comment below.
Yeah, I would think that he had father-son time with just them and not Janae. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure he did. But you think he was exposing them to things that like were not safe? Like, because I know there's father-son times where like guys will go to a football game, a basketball game, or, you know, like just go hang out and do certain things, but not a father like taking their child to, you know, the hood or somewhere to toughen them up and man them up.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it like that. But you know, it's just different. It's like I don't know. Let's say I don't know, because I haven't done it in a while, so I can't even speak on something that I haven't done in a while at an older age. But I don't know. I think that it may be a little different. I think when you have those father-son times, the same thing, it's just not the same. It's not rolling the same as father-daughter.
But is that because of interest? Like your daughter may not have the same interest as your son. Because like let's say let's say, and then we're gonna wrap this part up because we're already at 125. Yeah. But let's say your daughter's into basketball, but your son's not. He's into hockey or something else. Mm-hmm. You're not going to take your son to the basketball game if that's not what he enjoys. You're going to take him to what he enjoys, and you're going to take your daughter to what she enjoys. So what do you mean that like, yeah. So to me, it's not about necessarily because he's a boy that it's different, or like what things would be different.
Let's say my friends said, oh, it's going to be a fishing trip or something like that. I'm not taking my daughter. If it's a fishing trip with a whole bunch of guys, right? Mm-hmm. Like the guys trip, mm-hmm. right? I say, oh, I'll probably bring my son with me.
Yeah, it's a guy's trip. That's just common sense.
Yeah, but they might be exposed to things that men do. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Janae said there was never really any double standards that went on. My dad tried to instill in his kids street smarts because he never wanted us to be without the knowledge or how to survive on the outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, but I would assume that when you with your dad, it's not the same. And I mean, I could talk for myself, right? Me being around my uncle or Irvin, right, with my sisters or my female cousins was not the same as just the guys. It just wasn't.
And okay, so you think that just naturally happens?
Yeah, I think it's just a whole different vibe.
Okay, well, double standards. Now we're gonna do the power trip of the week. So we have a situation that we want to read to you guys, and then we want you guys to give your feedback and we'll give ours.
All right, so this person is going through a breakup. It's titled Going to Break Up on Friday Evening. Tell me the right way to do it. Been seeing this guy for 4 months. She's 31 years old. He's 33. It's all lovey-dovey. He brings me flowers. We spend 3 nights a week together, have great sex and all, and a great time together. We make each other laugh. I could seriously see a future with this man. Growing old with him, taking care of him. He has spoken about his desire to get married and have children, and how our life goals are a perfect match, and how lucky he is to have met me. He is very empathetic when he speaks to me. I felt like I have a great friend and a partner. Despite all of this show of love, something always fell off. When we go out, he checks out other women. Although always compliments my looks, this did make me feel a bit uncomfortable. I thought he would change after getting to know me, after spending quality time with me, but it didn't. 2 weeks ago, we were about to hit the fourth month mark, and I decided to check whether he is still active on dating apps. I found his profile active and decided to talk about exclusivity without hinting at having seen his profile. He said we were exclusive from the day we kissed on our 3rd date. I thought, okay, the app probably takes a while to be stopped from being shown to others if it's on snooze mode. Then the unimaginable happened. yesterday. My friend is visiting out of town, matched with him and chatted with him and made plans to go out. Now, as girls talk, she's excitedly telling me about the new date and showed me the profile, and my heart sank. The guy will spend Friday and Saturday with me and had plans to see her on Sunday. And the worst part, after making plans with her, he had a video call to tell me how he misses me and how he thinks I'm an amazing person. And we even discussed about moving in together. And after our call ended, he proceeded to chat with my friend on the app. I realized he is a pathological liar. He lied so that I won't sleep around, but he still could. He created a future vision with me in it, planned a 4-day trip in May with me, etc., just to convince me that he's into it for the long haul. I'm sitting here feeling numb. We have another video call on Thursday. He will come to me on Friday, and I want to speak to him face to face and see his reaction live. I want to know what lies or stories or explanation he's going to give. Then I'm going to ask him to take his stuff, which he has left behind, and go back to his home. Any advice on how to have the conversation like an adult? I don't want to yell, cry, or honestly, I don't want to yell or cry. Honestly, I don't care anymore. I feel numb. I don't even think she should be saying that if she claims she feels numb. But anyway, she says, this is the second time I'm having a similar dating experience in a year's time. Once I started dating someone, I'm loyal to the bone and I don't F around or keep options open. Am I approaching the dating scene wrong, or is the world just messed up?
Okay, so that was lengthy.
It was very lengthy.
Let's see. Oh, really quick, Papa J on the last conversation.
He said, all fathers just naturally feel they have to protect their girls more.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? What advice would you give Miss Anonymous? What would you say?
If it was me, I probably wouldn't even entertain the whole thing any further. Mm-hmm. You already know. Mm-hmm. So we don't need to have another date for me to hear you lie. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like when someone showed me the conversation and let me know that you plan to do this and everything like that, then at that point it's kind of like.
So what would you do? Would you just ghost them, or
no?
You
can tell them. Just tell them. Just let them know, like, hey, this not working for me. Whatever, this, that, and the third, and move on.
You wouldn't tell them why?
I think if I was upset, yeah. Mm-hmm. If I was like furious, angry, yeah. But in a calm manner, no.
Okay.
In a calm state, I wouldn't, because it's no point.
Yeah.
Why do I need to tell you what you did when you did it?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So, and not the most mature light, spiteful me. I wouldn't be seeing him. Well, now I see him Friday, Saturday. We can act like things are cool and copacetic. And on Sunday, me and my friend would be showing up to that date. And I would surprise him. But she wants to handle it maturely, and I think that's the best route to go. And, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I would just have the conversation. I wouldn't even, like you said, I wouldn't wait to see him Friday, Saturday. I mean, if you want him to come get his things, you still let him know there's a box outside. You can get your things.
Right.
Or you can come here, knock on the door. I'll give you your things so they don't get ruined. But I would just say, this isn't going to work. I did find out that you're still on the dating app trying to talk to and meet up with other women. I would be honest and say why, and I would leave it at that. And I'm sure he would lie and go back and forth, because she already said he's a pathological liar, and the way he talks to her and everything like that, he's going to try to weasel his way back in. So I would just try to mentally prepare myself to not go back and forth, just let it be known, and then tell him, like, I don't want to talk about it further. This is the final decision. There's nothing to talk about. And you can come get your things when you're ready. But you have a time limit, or they're going in the garbage.
Yeah. And they was together for what? I think
only 4 months.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't know when they started, moving it to the next level of being
Doing the
intimate.
do.
Yeah, and doing the do. But this is her second, like she said, relationship in 2 years, or excuse me, in 1 year. This is the second time this thing happened to her.
Mhm.
So I think she needs to slow down and get to know the person a little bit better before taking it to that step, because I feel like when you have sex too early, it can cloud your judgment.
Right.
And then also, she already seen red flags. So when they first started dating, she noticed that he was checking out other women. And not to say that people can't change, but when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And don't just hope that someone's going to change because you're such a great woman or you're such a great man, so I know I can change them. No. The only person you can change is yourself. If someone wants to change, they will. But don't go in expecting that they're going to change because you're so great.
Yeah. Irvin says, you never know anyone until you find out. But when you find out that someone did you like that in that type of manner, just let them go. Yeah. And pretty much, I agree. And from the story too, I don't think she told her friend. Her friend don't know.
You don't think so? I mean, well, that's not really her friend either, because you can't tell your friend that that's the guy you're dating.
Yeah, that's not really your friend then.
Yeah. But also, I think she needs to take a break from dating and deal with her feelings as well. Because she said that she doesn't want to feel, doesn't want to cry, just feels numb.
Right.
But she is hurting, and it is bothering. No one wants to put themselves out there, and you think you're about to start this long haul relationship with someone just for them to be a liar.
Yeah, and the commonality out of that could be the dating app. If you're meeting this type of guy, and then it's to the extent where your friend on the app meet the same guy and he's doing it to her too, it could be the app.
Yeah, I mean, or the people on the app. The app
well,
just,
you
but
know what I mean.
attracts,
but this is the type of people that may be on that app using it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's like a Tinder or something where it's swipe left, swipe right. It's like everybody's there. Any dating app, really, any dating website, app, anything. You're on there with the mentality that you're going to be talking to multiple people because you're trying to find your person. Or some people want a free meal. Or some people just want to hook up.
But you're going to be entertained by multiple people.
So I think people have to have that mindset too, is that not everybody's going on that app to find true love. Not everybody's going on that app just, for a committed relationship. People have their own motives on why they're on the app.
Right. It's like modern speed dating. I never felt like speed dating was to find, a wife or a husband, anything like that. It was just somebody that you connect with quick, and you might have fun with them, and that's about it. And that's probably what that is.
Yeah, but for some people, they utilize those things, including speed dating, as as them trying to find somebody.
Because I think just because there's cases, you know what I'm saying, where people may last a long time.
Well, I think that, and also some people don't know where to meet other people.
That's true.
And so this gives you an opportunity to have a pool of people that you can talk to, get to know, that you otherwise wouldn't, because you're not putting yourself in a position to where you could meet these people.
Because that is a big question that single people, tend to say, like outside of a party and things like that, or school and work, how do you meet somebody else?
Yeah.
People don't go out and interact and in calm places where you can have conversation and
really get to know somebody. Yes. Yeah. So we appreciate you guys for your comments and stuff. Papa J said, once you've determined that you are exclusive, that app should have been deleted.
Right.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I agree. She said it was on snooze. Snooze means it's gonna pop back up.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't even on snooze, but she figured, he probably snoozed it, and it just takes a while for it to not show up anymore.
I mean, but you should have, if you thinking he snoozed it, snooze still is.
Yeah, it's eventually going to come back.
Right.
Yes. Well, does anyone else have anything to say? Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. It was a good conversation. Today was a light day. But we did still enjoyed really the conversation though. It's just a lot of input.
Yes, we really appreciate you guys, your feedback.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
Yes.
And kicking it with us. We really, really appreciate it. See you next week.
Well, really quick, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you have any power trips that you want to share, you can email us, and it could be anonymously at thepowertrippodcast@gmail.com. And then also make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Powertrip Podcast.
Right. And then tell a friend to share their story or their problems.
Yeah, or if you know their problems, you can share it and we'll say it anonymously, just so we can give feedback and maybe some insight and help for them.
And converse about it. So that's about it for tonight.
So next week.
Deuces, people.
Good night. Oh, what's the comment?
You want to, let's see.
Oh.
Another good one.
Love you too, Papa J.
Love you too, Irvin.